Hello, Julie here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to do something with this journal. Now, I originally did this binding on it because I wanted it to lay flat when it was open. That is not happening now, and I think it's just too fat for this cover. So I'm planning on taking it out of this cover and making a new cover for it. I can reuse this cover for something else, and it's something new to me to do this. So what I thought I'd do, I've got my blade, my knife here, and I thought that I would just cut this out, and I think I'm just going to cut it down there. That has got that out of there. I'm trying not to cut the binding, but I think I'm going to rebind these signatures anyway, so I think I might just cut through that. I think I'm going to redo the signatures so that they're smaller as well. Now I'm going to have to, I'm just playing this by ear, so hopefully, I mean, if I do end up ruining the cover, I guess that so be it, but I would like to keep it because I really love this fabric. There we go. Now if I do that, I mean I can cut that off when the time comes. Now I'm going to do the same for the back cover. I'm just going to run my knife down here. There we go. And now I can lift all of my signatures out. These two signatures still stuck together, but I'm going to reorganise the signatures, and here I have my cover that I will use for another. I'll use this cover for something else. So I need to make a whole new cover for these signatures. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to deconstruct the signatures. And this one has already got the twine cut. So those pages are now all loose. Now let's have a look here. To separate these two signatures, I'm going to have to cut that down there, I think. Like that. So now these two signatures are separate. Let me find the centre, and this is still bound together, so I'm going to cut that off. Pull that out of there. I've got I'm just pulling these off so that if I get to this, so I can take that, just throw that away, or use it for something else. And that's a signature. That's a signature. And then this one here. So I have basically deconstructed that whole journal. And I will start again. Now what I think I might do is trim it down to maybe 4 signatures. So let's have a look what we've got. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 14 pages in that one. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So I've got 45 pages. So if I put 11 pages in 4 signatures, see how that goes, eh? So I'll want 4 centre pages. 1, 2, that's the centre, 2, 3. Now let's have that one for the centre and fold it that way. So that's 4. So that's 4 signatures. So now let's just work our way through. So let's have a coffee dyed page next. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to sort these pages out into plain pages, coffee dyed pages, embellished pages, sort of divide them up into what they are, and then I'll have more of an idea of where I can put them. Back shortly. Okay, so I have pulled them all apart and I have sorted them out, and these are the 4 that I have decided to have as my centres, my centre pages. Okay, so now I'm just going to add pages to each pile. These are all digital pages that have, some of them have got embellishments on them and some of them haven't. So I'm just going to add them to the piles. So 1, I don't know how many of each are here, but I'm just 2, 3, that's 1 each. 2 each. 3 each, and 1 left over. I'll just put that one aside for the moment. See what I end up with being left over. Now I've got music sheets. So 1, 1 short there. So I will put one of these there, put that one there, we'll put that one over there as a spare. Now, what have I got here? These are envelopes. So, 1, 2, 3, and this one hasn't got one, so I'm going to put that one in there to make up for that. Now I've got avocado dyed pages, so I've got one on there, one on there. Oh, I've got 5. One short one there, one short one there, and I'll put this one aside for the moment. Pianola rolls, I've got 2, so I'll put one there and one there, and I will put this one to go on that one and this one on that one. What have I got here? What is this? These are plain coffee dyed, so let's start. Oh, that's not coffee dyed. Three, and if I put that one on there, and that leaves me with 1 page left over. So let's just pop that on there. So let's have a look what we've got. Now I have to go through each signature and put them into the order that I want them to be in. So let's start from the outside. What would I like on the outside? I want a pattern page, like a digital page, digital print. Yeah, maybe that one. I'll go for that one. Then a plain one. Like that. Then maybe that, and then maybe that, then maybe something plain. What's this one? Put that in there that way. Uh-oh. How come I got these all mixed up again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You don't need to watch me sort this out. I'm going to sort this out and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got them all sorted out. I've got 4 signatures with 11 pages, or 11 A4 pages, so what's that? 11 4, 44 pages in each signature. So to put this into one journal is going to be a 5-inch spine, and I was thinking that that's a very big journal. So, and seeing as how I already have this cover here, I thought I might take 2 of the signatures and put them in there. which is quite presentable, quite reasonable. You know, that sits nicely, and I'm pretty sure that when you open that, it will sit flat, no matter where you open it to. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 2 signatures in this one, and then this, what's left over here, I can either make another cover similar to that, or I can do a completely different cover. I might do a soft cover, wraparound cover or something for those 2 signatures. But I really do think that it is way too big for one signature. I think I've really overdone it this time. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use the same binding system that I used before for this. And I'll put a link to that video in the description box if you want to go and see how I've done that. Now that means that because this has got a pocket on it, I'm going to have to do some fancy work here somehow. I'm going to have to join a page on here, or I'm going to have to take this out of here, take the pocket off and put another whole page on there. So basically what happens is I have to have a page to make a cover for each of these signatures, and I also have to have one for the inside and that inside, and then they get joined together. As I said, I'll link the video below showing how I've done the binding of this. Now I have to bind my signatures together first, and that is going to be quite tricky because, you know, it's got all of these bulky things in it now, and lining it up and making sure that it's nicely set in and set together is going to be very tedious. But I will do that, and yeah, perhaps when I've got everything set up, I'll come back and we'll put the signatures into the cover. Alright, so I'll go and get these all organised. As I said, I'll put the link in the description box to how I did the original binding for this. And yeah, I'm going to go and get set up now, ready to put these 2 signatures into this cover. Okay, so I have bound my 2 signatures together. And if you've checked out the other video, you'll know that you have to have a cover for each signature reversed. So you've got your white on your outside and your pattern on your inside. So I've done that for each of them. So they've both got their covers on them. And I used this waxed thread to bind my signatures together, and I doubled it, and I've sticky taped the tails down on to the cover or the outside of the signature, just for neatness sake. Now you can have your tails coming to the inside if you wish. You know, if you like to hang some dangles or something like that in the middle, you could do it that way, but for neatness I'm doing it this way. Now I have also with my cover, let me just get rid of this stuff here for a bit. With my cover I have taken the pattern paper, or it's cardstock actually, of my cover. These are 220 GSM, so they're fairly sturdy, and I've printed a couple more because I need one for the inside front and one for the inside back. And I have removed well, I've got rid of the bit that was in the centre here, because that was, you know, not attached to anything and it was all bulky and messy. So I've torn that back to that, and I'm ready now to attach my signatures to my journal cover. Once again, I will do that, but I'm not going to do it right now. I have to go and do something else, so I will come back when I am ready to continue on with this. But I just wanted to show you what I'm up to now. I've done the signatures, and now I'm going to put them into the journal, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy the way they're sitting in there. I'm pretty happy that it's not, you know, obsessively gator-mouthed. And yeah, I'm happy with this. Happy with this the way it's going. So yeah, I'll be back and we'll finish it off. I am back, and I have had a bit of a catastrophe. I have gone ahead and done this, put this journal back together, thinking that I was recording it, and it wasn't recording. So I'm going to just explain to you what I did. I'll use this as an example, but it isn't what I was using. So I printed out 2 more pages, folded them, wrapped them around, used them as a cover for the signature, and then bound my signature together. Now I think that's as far as I got in the previous video. Now I used, I'll demonstrate with this because I've got 2 more signatures here. I used the cover for this one and the cover for this one, and I glued those 2 together, but I left about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch gap where there's no glue. So I think you might be able to see that on here. See there? See how there's that gap there? I hope you can see that all right. So I just glued from here down. So that's what I'm saying here. So I glued from here down, and then I stuck these 2 together so that they lined up perfectly. Now, because I printed those new pages on 220 GSM, by sticking those 2 together, it's a fairly firm connection. You know, it's not going to tear, put it that way. I didn't want them to tear apart. I could have just used the pages that I already had in there, but I thought it would be better to do a stronger one. Okay, so that had my 2 signatures joined together. Then I have to add them to the cover that I already had. So I had to do it a bit different to how I originally did the binding. So originally I put the binding section, the binding section first, and then attach the covers. But what I did for this one was, and I should be able to show you on here, I took here you can see the cover, this cover, that's the whole page there, right? So, oh no, it's not. That's the other half of this page. So what I did was I just glued this exactly on top of the page that was already there. But once again, I had to stop about 1/2 an inch, 3/4 of an inch from the end, so that it's not actually attached to the spine bit, it's only attached to the cover, the hard cover part. Okay, so I did that. So I glued all the back of this sheet except for that last 1/2 inch, and then lined it all up on here, pressed it down. I used the Boyle's craft glue, which gives me a little bit of movement, but dries really quite quickly. And then I turned it over and did exactly the same thing with the back cover. So I glued all over except for that last 1/2 inch, and then lined it up with the paper that I had on there already from the previous time I bound it, so that everything lines up nicely. And that gives me my journal now. So you can see it's a lot thinner than it was, and I am much happier with it. I am going to add a few more things to it now. I can probably afford to add, 1 or 2, maybe 3 more pieces to it, and I may even add small page ruffles and things like that. I've been thinking about what I wanted to do with the cover, and I love this fabric. I just don't want to cover it up. So I'm thinking that what I might do is wrap this around that way and tie it here, and then just slip something under the cover here as a decoration, which can be removed because, well, as I said, I just don't want to cover this up. I love it. I love it. So that's my plan. So from now I'm going to go and finish this one off. I've still got those other two signatures that I will put into another journal cover. I don't know whether I'll do the same sort of cover as this one, or a wraparound soft fabric cover, or what. I haven't decided yet, but I'll finish this one off first. And so I'll do that off camera, and I'll come back with a flip through video. That'll be my next video. Alright, well, thank you for joining me. Sorry that I did not record the actual doing, but I hope I've explained it properly enough. If you've got any questions, if you want to try this, if you've got one that you want to deconstruct and reconstruct like I have, and you've got questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll certainly be more than happy to help you with anything like that. Alright, well, thank you for joining me, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.